The Artificer and Bard multi-class really shouldn't work, right? On one end, you have someone who wants to maximize intelligence. On the other end, you have someone who wants to maximize charisma. They're also both going to need constitution, and they're both going to need to choose between strength or dexterity, probably dexterity. That's just too many stats, right? Wrong. The Armorer Artificer allows us to use our intelligence instead of strength or dexterity, which allows for a just myriad of interesting multi-classes, including Bard. Today, I'm bringing you the Bardificer. Let's do this. So the idea behind this build is we want to hit people with our Thunder Gauntlets. This makes it so they're going to have disadvantage to attack anyone besides us, meaning we're incentivizing them to attack us, and when they do, they're going to find that we are an absolutely massive AC tank. Artificers are naturally pretty big AC tanks, but once we mix it with some of our Bard features, that gets even crazier, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So let's start off with our lineage. I think there's two different camps here. The first camp is, since we're going to be going crazy on our AC, we can go crazier on our AC. So something like the Warforged or the Simic Hybrid, you can take advantage of that +1 AC to be even more of an AC tank. But both of those lineage are kind of side lineages with different settings, so if you need something that's more mainstream, you can always go Goliath. You won't be getting hit often, and when you do, you can now resist that damage or reduce it, being a Goliath. Powerful synergy there. As for our stats, we really get to choose between intelligence, which is more of our attacking stat, and charisma, which is more of our spellcasting stat. I'm going to choose to lean more towards the spellcasting side, at least early, because we have enhanced weapon, basically to carry our attacks for a little while, and then eventually we're going to be getting extra attack to continue carrying them. We're not really attacking for our damage output, we're really attacking to make people attack us, so long as we hit, we should be doing okay. If I start finding that my hits aren't very consistent, I'd probably invest in my intelligence at that point. Intelligence and charisma are both some of the best half-feat options in the entire game, so if you're odd in either of those, you can be pretty happy because you're going to be able to take a myriad of incredible half-feats to round those out, so don't fret if you have an odd in either of them. Now, whatever one you choose, your secondary is going to be the opposite, and your tertiary is going to be constitution. So these first two levels that we're going to take are going to be going into Artificer. We're going to get constitution saving throws, we're going to get our armor proficiencies, but these levels, we're going to be really weak. We're not super heavily invested into intelligence nor dexterity, so our AC and attack power is going to be really low until we get to 3rd level and become armors. So play for your survival and just pray that you can get to level 3. This also might be a build that you just consider putting into a campaign that you're beginning at level 3 or higher. Once you hit level 3, everything changes. You go from being a squishy about to die to being a real tank. You're going to take whatever heavy armor you can get your hands on and a shield on top of it, and you're going to start going in and punching people. Once you punch someone, they're basically taunted. They can attack your allies, but they're going to be way less consistent at hitting them, so they're going to be more likely to attack you. You're also going to have the ability to have a bonus action, give yourself temporary HP. You're going to have fantastic AC, and even if they hit you, you have a reaction to reduce the damage. So you are happy being the center of their attention for your team. Now, since we only have one attack, we are going to be using Booming Blade with every single attack, so after we punch them, they really are in the catch-22. They either attack us, who are a wall, attack an ally who's next to them with disadvantage, attack an ally who's not next to them with disadvantage, or try and run away, in which case they proc both our opportunity attack and Booming Blade. So we really put them in a no-win situation. At level 4, we're moving into Bard. The main thing we're getting is Bardic Inspiration here, where we can give it to our teammates as a bonus action when we don't need to boost our temporary HP. Bardic Inspiration is fantastic. I love that feature. We also get Bard spells, and 2 of them really stand out to me. First, we're getting Silvery Barbs. We already have a fantastic reaction. This is going to give us another fantastic reaction. We already debuff our enemies. This is going to debuff them even harder. This really makes us a powerful debuffer frontliner tank, and just a problem for our enemies. The other one is Dissonant Whispers. Dissonant Whispers is awesome on this because we are going to be up front, so when we cast Dissonant Whispers on someone and we succeed, they're going to have to use their reaction to run away from us, in which case we can hit them with an opportunity attack. They finish running away. Now they're debuffed. They took the damage from Dissonant Whispers. They took damage from our attack, and they're going to take damage from the reactions of any of our melee allies. So now on the next turn, they have to use their movement to either move towards us to attack a wall, or use their movement to go attack somebody else who they're going to have disadvantage on. So it's a really awesome setup spell. Level 2 is really more of the same. We just become better outside of combat. But level 3 is where things really get interesting. We are going to go Swords Bard. Sword Bard is going to give us a couple different things. The first is a fighting style. So we can pick up the dueling fighting style, making our attacks hit that much harder. Normally, they're going to be doing a D8 of thunder damage. Now they're going to be doing the equivalent of the average of attacking with a D12 because of that +2 damage we got. So we're hitting pretty decently hard now. On top of that, we're also going to get our flourishes. Now keep in mind, flourishes can't be used with Booming Blade, so when we decide to use a flourish, we have to attack normal. But there are a couple different flourishes that really stand out here. The first and foremost is Defensive Flourish. This is going to increase our AC even further, so when we hit someone who can hit like a truck, we can Defensive Flourish, so now they either have to attack it at disadvantage, or they have to attack someone who's going to have an average of like 24-25 AC. Really difficult for them to deal with. We also have the mobile flourish, so we can hit someone who doesn't really want to move from where they're at, and we can disengage and run away from them. Now they either have to attack our allies at disadvantage, or if they want to attack us without having disadvantage, they have to move towards us out of the position they want to be in. Maybe proccing opportunity attacks, maybe causing all sorts of problems for them. Once we hit level 9 or Bard 6, we're going to get extra attack, and so our normal attacks are just going to get that much better. And because we're Armorer Artificer, we can attack 2 different people and debuff both of them. That's something most other debuff tanks can't pull off. Now, as we go deeper into Bard, we're going to get spells, and spells are a great way to both counter things that we're not good at countering and to cover our weaknesses. For example, we didn't have options for crowds, but once we hit our 3rd level Bard spells, we have plenty of options. We have things like Fear, Hypnotic Pattern, Slow, those overpowered 3rd level spells. So other fun spells is actually Mass Healing Word. It's a bonus action spell, so we can mix it in with our punches to heal off a bunch of damage for our team, or to pick up some allies as well as heal some other ones. Healing ourselves is also really efficient because our HP just doesn't go down that quickly, so having more of it's always good. Kinetic Jaunt allows us to do our hit and run playstyle I mentioned before, turn after turn. So if there's someone who really dislikes getting hit and then us moving away and can't get to us, now it's always going to have disadvantage on all of its attacks. So some combats will be won with Kinetic Jaunt. Aid is always good and fits our tanky playstyle, and Heroism is particularly interesting because we can set it up on ourselves because we're incentivizing people to attack us. We can then over and over and over again replenish our HP. So there's a lot of fun to be had here. If you want to play an upfront unique tank, this is a good build for you. But how would you do your Bardificer? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm also open to any challenge builds you can throw my way. But other than that, my friends, hope you have yourselves an incredible day, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you then.